Okay, so what motivated you towards the field?
Of nutrition.
Yes.
So whenever I was personal training, I was 17 when I first got certified, and I'm 33 now. And so the first like 5 years, I got good results. I was more just an athlete, and I ate well myself just because I grew up eating well, but I never really gave that opportunity to my clients to do that. And I really didn't know how to cook, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, I still live with my parents and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever I started selling this stuff called Cutco, those knives.
Oh yeah.
So I started cutting a lot more vegetables and all these other things for the demonstrations and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of wasting the food, I started creating food dishes with those things. And I also know how to use a knife at that point, so it was really easy.
Yeah.
And so I just started doing that from there, and then I realized like how good I felt from eating even better with my athleticism. And then I started studying nutrition, and then realized that the greatest results for all my clients was more nutrition. And now I used to do like 20% nutrition, 80% training. Now I do 90% nutrition, 10% training.
Right.
So, and I get way better results. And a little bit of fitness with a lot of nutrition is what kind of like motivated me to stay in the field.
Yeah, so you'd say like nutrition is the foundation.
Yeah,
everything.
You can't do anything without it. You think you can for a limited amount of time, and at a certain point, your body will peter out.
Oh yeah.
So,
I mean, it's like what makes you, you.
Yeah.
But so like where did you go to college, and what did you pursue in college?
Sam Houston State, and I went for kinesiology, which is the study of the movement of the body and how it works. But I really didn't touch a lot of nutrition, even in college. I was studying that more on my own. And after college, I went to teach at a school, which is where I taught nutrition. And it was kind of like, I'll admit it was a little fake it till you make it a little bit. And I knew nutrition, but I also am a teacher, so I could read a couple of passages, be able to break it down to a point where I can explain it to somebody else, and then at the same time, I was absorbing more and they were learning. And so then it really started to kind of make the connections of how the movement and the nutrition really kind of came together.
Yeah. Like because I used to talk to like a future or nutritionist like a little while back, and they said they had to go through like what was it called, organic chemistry and all that to become certified as a dietitian.
Yep.
And that's like overwhelming, like because I'm not really good at sciences in general and math in general. So you never had to do any of that?
So for nutritionists versus dietitian, they're two different things. So nutritionists give food suggestions and general guidelines. They can't prescribe for, let's say, diabetes, like certain foods or food allergies and things like that because of the legality behind it. A registered dietitian can legally prescribe foods for healing, essentially, and for chronic illnesses and reversal and things like that. And that's why it takes the extra education on that aspect. Now, it's like a kinesiologist is the study of the body and how it works. A dietitian is going to be the study of nutrition, how it works in the body, right? So, but there's like an intermediate between those things, which is nutritionist kind of plugs in both directions, really. My clients come to me for, they have diabetic problems. General guidelines of low glycemic eating and how that works and how to apply it on a daily basis and being accountable is as powerful as telling somebody as a registered dietitian, you should do this, you should do that, and you prescribe this and prescribe that. If they don't do it, it doesn't matter how much you say. So, and then that's why it's more like the clinical field. Dietitians are in the hospitals working, and they tend to be working with feeding tubes and speech therapists and making sure that they can swallow and things like that. So it's a little bit different.
A little more in tune.
Yeah, and that's why you do the more organic chemistries, things like that. Why they make you learn like phylums and like all the animal kingdoms and all the cellular biology for alligators and plants and other things like that. It's more just, I don't know.
It's just a lot.
It's just like a wean out system a little bit. It's like, hey, you must learn all these things because it makes you smarter. Sometimes it's a little confusing of why they require things that are not really applicable to the field exactly. But that's okay.
Yeah. So what is your greatest challenge about the job, if you had to say anything?
Convincing people that nutrition will change them faster than they're killing it in the gym. So
I agree. Yeah.
Convincing them / I can show them, like, I do a lot of standing acrobatics. My shirt's off a lot. I look pretty decent with my shirt off, and
feeling confident.
That's like the sell point for them. They're like, oh, well, okay, well, what do you do? Well, I don't actually lift anymore. I just lift some people and I eat really well. And they're like, oh, okay. So instead of me going to the gym 7 days a week, killing it in the gym, I was 25 pounds heavier 3 years ago of muscle, and I had to lose a lot of it to be able to be highly mobile and flexible for acrobatics. Because I fly, I do handstands on hands.
Oh, wow.
So I had to change my body shape, and at the same time keep my nutrition, which keeps me lighter and more mobile. And when I was going to the gym a lot, no one really cared what I was eating. They wanted to know my workout routine. Now people want to know what my nutritional routine is instead of my workout routine, because I'm not all big and bulky anymore. I'm just more lean. And it's really interesting how that changes when people are looking at you. And so, yeah, that's the greatest challenge, is convincing people that nutrition is more important. I think people are still stuck in this mindset that they can out-train their diet. So
no, yeah, definitely.
So, I think that's the biggest challenge. Then challenges from there is finding the people, marketing. As an entrepreneur, instead of working for somebody. A registered dietitian, I think the biggest challenge for a nutritionist versus registered dietitian, nutritionists tend to not get hired by corporations because of the legality of it, right? We don't prescribe. There's just more power or insurance, and because it's a licensed dietitian, because of that license, corporations tend to be able to. So job-wise, a registered dietitian will probably yield you a better chance for a job while you want to pursue your passion in entrepreneurship.
Right.
Instead of having to go nutritionist, going as an entrepreneur almost right off the bat. So I think that's a second biggest challenge.
Okay. So like, what is your diet? Like, what do you eat typically?
Lots of veggies.
Yeah. So fruits and veggies.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I'm more vegetarian. Like, let's say like last night I made vegan tacos. So Brussels sprouts, sweet potatoes, onions, saute with some balsamic vinegar and spritz with a little bit of oil. Cook that down. Beans, refried beans on the side, and put that on organic, corn tortilla, and I've got vegan tacos.
There you go.
So, and then drank for lunch yesterday. I had 6 ounces of salmon and then some asparagus. I mean, pretty simple. I don't make it complicated. If we take a look at my menus that I put together for my clients, I mean, they're simple. And then my clients make them complicated if they have time. They're like, yeah, I'm going to do something, I'm going to do this thing with this, stuffed chicken with spinach and grains. I'm like, yeah, go for it. I just told you to eat some chicken with the grains, and they put it together.
Seems like people just try to make it as complicated as they can.
Yeah, because if you go and you try to make one big, dish, and you have to go buy 20 ingredients, and then, they're all brand new ingredients. You're like, I don't have these 4 things, and they're all like $8 a piece. Yeah, they last for a long time because there are certain spices and things like that. But that one meal then cost you $55, and it took you 2 hours, and you're like, yeah, screw that.
Yeah. Definitely.
So you ate really well one time this week, right? It has to be more simple and longer term.
Yeah.
So
let's see. So what motivated you towards the field? Like, when you were younger, did you always have a passion for nutrition?
Just a passion for like athletics. And then when I moved to Texas, I realized that everyone was like bigger and stronger than me. So in Mississippi, I was an all-star baseball player up to like 15 years old. I made every all-star team, traveled states and played. And when I moved to Texas, everyone had already been lifting for 2 years more than me. They started when they were like 13.
Oh, yeah.
And so by the time I'm 15, they were already faster, stronger than me. And I was like, oh, what's going on? Like, why? It's because in Mississippi, no one cares about lifting. Well, in Texas, everyone was lifting and, creating their stronger bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So I started lifting, and I have a knack for science and kind of like filtering out the BS in magazines. Like when it comes to like logical, like, oh, this is this thing, this is not going to work, right?
Yeah.
And so people started asking me a lot of questions, and then I realized I can get paid for those questions, and then I got certified, and then that's what led me into the nutritional aspect of it. It wasn't really ever, the beginning wasn't ever like nutrition, to be honest, and then I kind of found it, I think, which was even more important because I really, my parents, fed me, high quality foods. I didn't know that they're high quality foods. I didn't know what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was good until I realized, I started studying it and then realized it was good.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. Well, I guess that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So, thank you